using RST to analyze some data and see if we can make this tune a little bit better. I'm gonna see if I can. Curious if YouTube sends it live here, so let's just take a quick look real fast. Sweet. Okay, so it's working pretty well. But let's go ahead and return to Garage, guys. We're gonna do a quick restart. Got the new version of RST going. Wanna kind of show that off a little bit as we get a little bit closer to its launch. Gonna be doing a 1 hour race here at Zolder. My stint's usually about 45 minutes, so this is more than enough practice. We have a few different setups here. Let me just zoom out real fast. All right, so we got the RST setup in there. We're gonna load her up. This is fuel load. Should be good to go.
Going double file.
Gonna start the car. Go ahead and turn those headlights on. Gonna have the FPS open, just kind of curious to see what kind of frames we're getting.
Green light, go, go, go.
Do have the AI pretty cranked up. Let me know how the volume is, guys. Make sure that the volume's not too loud or I'm not too loud.
Car on the left.
Forgot one thing I was gonna do to this setup real quick, guys, just before we start going here, is I need a little bit more preload. I notice when I get off the throttle transition into like a coast area to get onto the brakes, I get a little oversteer, so I'm gonna increase that preload just a little bit. That'll help keep the car turned in a little bit better. So I'm just gonna load that up. We're gonna make a few adjustment on the preload. 100 should be good. We're gonna save that as RST3. And what we can do is we can go and get rid of some of these because I'm more than happy than for a lot of these setups. It's always good to save new copies, especially with all the bugs going through ACC right now. You don't want to get caught up with all that. So just get it notified because I have my folder in sync with Google Drive.
Stay double file.
Alright, we're gonna update that. I don't care to see that anymore. Just give me a sec, guys. Sorry about this. Alright, so we have the preload ready to go. Alright, this pop-up is gonna drive me insane. I don't know why they don't go away after a while. One thing I'm gonna do is I wanna see these. Sorry guys, just 1 second. Let me turn these notifications off. That's extremely annoying. Okay. There we go. Alright, we should be good now. Alright, let's go ahead and get going.
Green light, give it all you got. Car on the left. Clear on the left. Car on the left. Clear on the left. Car on the left.
So yeah, are a little bit
Clear on
crazy
the
at the
left.
start. It will get a lot better though. They are at 100% right now. Love this game. Absolutely looks absolutely stunning.
Car on the right. Clear on the right. Car on the right. Clear on the right.
We're up about 4 positions, a little left.
We've got some light damage on the front.
Hey, what's up, Brock Kelly? Let me get on this straight real quick and I'll read what you said. Hey, so that's a good question, Brock. So we're working with Turn Racing right now to get those dashes completed. You can actually see mine right here. This is my prototype version. We will most likely have them completed probably in a few months, definitely before the end of the year though. So definitely stay posted for that. It should be pretty awesome piece of hardware. We're trying to undercut everyone else out there, including Precision Sim Engineering. So I'll be doing an update. I'll let you guys know when we have something for you guys to start doing pre-orders. There's even some features I haven't really talked about that are going to be pretty game changers. So. Garfield's much better with that preload adjustment. Can really trust it
Car on the right.
when I get off the brake here.
Clear on the right.
Try to make a move through here.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
These AI are so hard to race sometimes, they just are so unexpected. Even at 100%, they're pretty dangerous.
Car on the left.
Oh man, you're in Australia? That's crazy, dude.
Clear on the left.
Yeah, we'll try to have them out pretty soon. They're being manufactured right now. We actually designed our own board and everything for them. So really high quality electronics, but they're getting manufactured right now, the PCBs. Once that happens, they'll come to me to finish up programming and then we'll release them.
Well done, mate. This has been your personal best.
Well, a little bit, little bit of a gap here. See if maybe work it back down. I'm gonna pause it real quick too. It looks like my volume is a little bit on the high side, so let's test that. How about now? Okay, let's see if this is good. Let me know if I'm too quiet though, guys. I've got a kind of new microphone, so I've been playing with the audio settings. So it's hard to get it just right. Come on, get in there. So there's a little bit of wheel spin through there. So I don't want to comment right now, but we're trying to shoot for about half the price of the DDU for Precision Sim Engineering. Quality will be about the same, and we have a lot more software features. But we're really shooting between that $300 to $400 range. We're hoping if we start getting more sales, we can make it even cheaper. The dash that I have actually isn't even the, one second guys, let me just turn down the mic. I feel like it's still too loud. Okay, let's see if that's too loud. Hopefully that's a little bit better. I just want to be blasting you guys.
Well done, mate. Personal best.
Yeah, it's gonna, the enclosure that Zach from Turn Racing built for it is actually the same as the Porsche, like dash, if you've ever seen that. Which is pretty cool. Looks a lot better than this prototype one that I have. But yeah, he's as soon as that gets done being built, he's gonna send it to me. I'm just gonna do final integration testing, make sure RST talks to it nice, and then it'll be ready for distribution. I love the one that I built for myself. This thing is absolutely awesome. We actually have it built into RST as well, where you can kind of change how much when the side LEDs kick in, so you can define how much wheel slip before they turn on. It's pretty nice feature. All right, we're gonna try to make it move on the outside here. A little late brake. Plenty of room on the inside. I think we got it done.
Clear on the right.
Yeah, there we go. All right, we're gonna go ahead and take the line. All right, that's a pretty decent lap. Normally I run 29s here, but with all the traffic and everything, it's kind of hard sometimes. That preload adjustment definitely makes it a lot more stable for these high speed corners when I'm coasting. The preload really only adjusts the coast phase. Anytime you're on the throttle or the brakes, that's mostly your power ramp or coast ramp angle. We can't adjust those in ACC. Deep here.
Clear on the left.
Nice. So my best tips for anyone that's aspiring to be a race engineer is read. There's some really good books out there. Obviously the RST manual is kind of a good place to get started, but we've tried to make that more simplified for like people that are like mostly gamers and not the like engineering types. If you're really looking for like a really super detailed analysis on, you know, things to look for, I would definitely recommend Seeger's. It's kind of pricey because it's an actual textbook. It's an engineering textbook. I think I bought my copy for $200, but it's absolutely worth it. A lot of really gold information in there. And something that we couldn't really put into the RST manual just because a lot of people would kind of glaze over it. But that's a really good book to read. Also, Milken's Race Car Vehicle Dynamics. That's kind of the Bible for vehicle design. That's also a really good one to read. It's a little bit more dense. I think it's about 1,000 pages, but really good reads there. And then the other thing is just do a lot of testing and playing around in the sim. The sim is different in some aspects to real life. Like a lot of the trends are there, but like the overall values are different, which is fine. But try just different things, you know, try different ride rates, try different roll gradients, and then make adjustments and see how the dynamics of the car change. That's another really good way. A lot of people are starting to use simulators as they get more realistic to train up engineers, so it's definitely a good resource to use. I actually do most of my sim racing to do engineering work and less driving. So it definitely can get addicting. Car feels absolutely good right now. We're about up 6/10 right now. And I'm really getting held up by this traffic here. I think we have a little bit more time in the car. We're just having to get on those brakes nice and early. I'm gonna try to make an inside move here.
Well done, mate. This has been your personal best.
Went side by side in T1, couldn't get it stuck. Overslowed the car just a little bit. And really feel the weight transfer in this game. You have to be really careful on the brake. If you try to put a little bit too much steering input while you're too heavy on the trail brake, you could definitely shift the balance too far forward.
Car on the right.
Ooh, we're on each other.
Clear on the right.
That was weird. I was like stuck on him. Yeah, I'll post a link to them on our Discord. Definitely really good reads, though. I've learned a lot just by those 2 books. The Seekers is more about like data analysis, like how to read and interpret data that you get from like telemetry, whereas Milken is more about design. But I think it's good to know a lot about design too, because it kind of sets you up to understand what the like theory and the fundamentals of what the car is doing. That way, when you read about like reading the telemetry, you go, "Oh, that makes sense." So this is definitely a good place to start. Pretty consistent lap times through here. A little oversteer. I love driving this Porsche. Absolutely love it. It's completely different from the other cars, but really drives with my driving style. The corner just spits you out if you got on the outside. There's just no camber on the outside part of that corner. It's going to be absolutely insane having a 50-car grid here on Saturday. I think there's 30 cars right now, and it's just an absolutely train. I actually really enjoy iRacing. I'm actually getting ready to prep for the Le Mans 24-hour race. I did the 24 hours of Daytona earlier this year, but I'm definitely going to be doing... Oh, I need to pay attention where I'm going. But yeah, I'm doing the Le Mans 24-hour. I'm going to be in the Ford A8 GT. I really like iRacing. I've had some frustrations with some of the physics. Some things it does really well, some things it didn't do so well, and the main one was the tire model, which has now, been changed because of the V7 tire model. But I still think there's a little bit more improvement in terms of like some of the aerodynamics. I think a lot of times there's not a drag penalty when there should be. But I like it. I think they've done a really good job with like online play. And I think the way iRacing has done the special events is really cool. Like, there's no other sim that you can have an official series made by the developing studio where you can do like a 24-hour race, right? I think ACC is starting to get there. Still a little bit of work that needs to be done with the driver swaps and the stability of the servers. But I really enjoy it. Endurance racing is like my favorite type of racing. I would only do endurance racing if I could. I just really like the team aspect of it, and the fact that the setup really needs to be focused on tire wear and being able to keep the car stable for 24 hours. It's a really interesting challenge, and it's a lot of fun. So we're up 5 positions, I think. I think we started dead last for this race. I think we get a few more positions up here, though. The chicane is absolutely brutal, though. Oh, I'll break myself a little bit there. I just got this new direct drive wheel, and it's like completely different from a belt-driven wheel. It's awesome, though. I love it. Let's see. Oh dang, man. Yeah, we so I'm racing with just a small group of friends, like 3 of us. But I always see like people on the forums like posting for teams and stuff like that. If you haven't, maybe reach out on the RST Discord in the iRacing channel. There's probably some people in there that are in the same boat as you. Oh man, I was using the whole track there. I wonder what the track conditions are. I feel like the pace is a little slower than usual. Usually I'm doing 29s. Doing pretty consistent 30, 31s. Can cut there a lot more. Just if you don't take that chicane just right, those curves will definitely eat you alive.
Clear on the left.
Come on, go. Got this Lamborghini behind me too. We gotta go. Leg it. Yeah, hopefully when this race is done, I'll show you guys the GPU graphs I'm working on. I got all of the suspension and the handling tabs done today. We're going to be offering a new service for ACC where we're going to be working with some people from the SE or SRO league. Basically, we're going to have them collect data using RST. And then if you're in the game and you are driving a certain car and you're at a certain track, it'll kind of tell you, hey, like, do you want to compare yourself against an alien or a pro driver? And if you say yes, it'll like kind of download their data into your RST lab view. And then that way you can use the driver analysis to see like where you're slow at. So you'll be able to go into the time slip graph and compare yourselves to like the top guys, which I think will be really cool. It's kind of like a service, kind of like VRS in a way, but for ACC. So I'm working with David Perel right now. He's got his Coach Dave Academy team, which is James Parker and a few other guys from ESRO. So we're hoping to get that pretty much the same time as the GPU graphs being done. It's going to be extremely hard to pass here on Saturday.
Gaining on the car heading 73.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, so many of the times it's hard to see like where to improve because like, you know, you feel like you're on the limit and you feel like the car can't go any quicker through a corner. And then you see someone that goes through there like 5 kilometers an hour faster, right? So it'll be nice to see not only where you're losing the most time on tracks, but then also looking at like the throttle inputs, the driving inputs, things like that. So it'll be super nice, I think, if you're, you know, trying to use data to improve as a driver. I gotta figure out a way to get around this guy. Hopefully the stream looks okay, guys. Let me know if the audio and the video looks okay. I've been messing with the stream settings a little bit lately. Oh, there we go. That's a good exit. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll have all the driver inputs.
Clear on the left.
And then we have 8 new tabs of driver stuff that we're going to be adding too.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
I was scared he was gonna squeeze me, so I went way wide. Trying to keep that Mercedes behind me though. They get a track limit warning, I think. But we're up to P24. Car's getting a little bit sketchy with the lower fuel loads though. So we'll have to kind of manage that. Sun's coming up nice. And I totally just blew through the braking zone. Yeah, wait till you guys see these new graphs. They're so cool in terms of like performance. Navigation's way better too. Alright, see if we can get this Porsche up here. That was a pretty good exit.
Car on the right.
Oh, neck and neck.
Clear on the right.
Gotta give him some room. That was fun though. I think AC has the best AI of all the games. Like, sometimes they're a little bit hard to race, but other times like this, they're just so much fun.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Oh, that was awesome. In the braking zone. Gotta be careful here though. I haven't really driven the Aston Martin very much, but it has a really cool looking car. Car feels absolutely super glued right now. It's a little bit loose through here, but when I get on the throttle, it, you know, catches back up and kind of pushes a little bit. And it helps you get the car kind of rotated. So that's a good question. Belt driven versus DD. So I really like, so I just got a TC PC Racer, which is belt driven, right? And I absolutely love that because I was coming from a T150 and it was such a big upgrade in force feedback. In terms of like strength and also quality. But I am very, very thankful that I never tried a direct drive wheel until I had one. 1 second, guys. My wife just came in.
You're not streaming, right?
Yes, I am.
Are you joking?
Sorry about that, guys.
Right. Hey, quick question. Do I need to pick up the Meyer and Grady's gifts? I'm getting them at Total Wine because they want like soda holders.
All right, sorry about that, guys. My wife just randomly came into the room while I was streaming. But the DD just has so much more detail in the force feedback. Like for example, it's just very, very precise. Like when you go over the curbs, you can feel every individual curb when you're going through it, and it just feels like so accurate. Like it's just really precise, and obviously the force feedback's really strong too. But I normally turn it down quite a bit, just because it's kind of hard to throw the car into the corner the way you want to when the force feedback's so heavy. So I still have it fairly heavy. It's down to like 75%, but nowhere near 100%. But I kind of went off the road because the wife distracted me. Let's go ahead and look at the new GPU graphs that we have for Racing Sim Tool. So let me just throw that on here. Let me go ahead and put the car parameters on. So we're using the Porsche, and then I'm just gonna set those to 1. So here's the new graphs, guys. Pretty awesome. You can see how quick the zoom is. So this is just the handling tab, the differential. One thing I am gonna look through here is it for turn 1. I feel really loose sometimes, and especially that last lap. So one thing that I can do right here is I can just control click, then it's gonna zoom into that. So this is turn 1. Yeah, no, I love my TS PC. Like, it was so awesome, and a DD is it's very expensive, right? Like, it's $1,000 or more depending on which model you go for. I actually got this model for free. It's the Sim Magic M10, and the reason I got it for free is I'm working with Turn, Zach Hodges from Turn Racing, and we got this wheel done, and we were wanting to show it off and everything. I think he felt kind of bad because I did the all the marketing for free for him. So he just sent me this because he wasn't using it. And all I can say is I'm just very glad I never tried a DD until I had one. But let's look at this braking zone. Again, I felt like the car was getting a little bit loose through here. And you can see if I look at the braking zone before I start to turn. So like right here, it does feel good. And the front is 8.3%, 603, and the back is only 2%. So I could probably actually move the brake bias back a little bit, but I'm not going to. One thing I do want to check is right here, when I'm kind of in the coast region, I want to see if the differential is unlocking, which it is. So that's going to make the car pretty rotated. But the thing is, I'm already open the diff even when on brake. So if I went to more preload, it's going to kind of snap it. So I'm not really going to make an adjustment there. I can just control click and it's going to automatically zoom. One thing is for the new navigation for the charts, we have zoom and for X, Y, and then for like where your mouse is, completely separate, which is super nice. And then I can fit the chart to this data, which is really, really cool. We have this new graph called stability, which I really like. So this is looking at the theoretical yaw rate versus what is needed for the corner. So anytime it's above, it's like oversteer. Anytime it's below, it's understeer. And you really only care about when it's like in this 20 range. So I'm just going to zoom this in and shift it. So we're only looking at like the point of interest. And then basically I'm just going to see anytime this line touches. So we're pretty neutral. This is the chicane. So that's, I'm not really going to tune for that. If I scroll to the right a little bit for the final chicane, which again I don't really care about. This is just damper travel, so it's kind of a good indication. So I've already done this setup, so I don't really need to do any more analysis on it. If I saw that I was getting a lot of oversteer, I would probably soften up a spring if it was like when I was getting on throttle or in the braking zone. One thing that's really nice too is I haven't shown you guys is the new update. We have the ability to like make the graphs bigger or smaller. So like let's say you're coming into like this one, for example. Let's say you want to make this one really small. That way you can make this graph a lot bigger. You can totally do that now, which is super nice, I think. But we're just gonna zoom that back, and then again you can kind of zoom into like a certain range, and then see all the data for there. So really, really cool. One thing I'm kind of curious about too is the damper histograms. So I'm just gonna click different laps to see if they're changing a lot per lap. You can see they have the basic general shape, so that's good. But one thing I want to look at is, let's look at this fastest lap here. Let's look at the comparison view. So I've done a lot of damper work. I'm not using the bump stops a lot, so you can see a pretty nice distribution. This is the 0 line, and you can see the rear is a little bit softer than the front. And the reason why is the engine's on the back, so it's going to take more dampening energy to dampen out that motion. So that's why it's a little bit softer, but pretty symmetric front to rear. Again, we're not really engaging the bump stop, so that's why. Pitch and roll gradient, a little bit higher on the front than the back. I like it a little bit stiffer up front. That makes it so that the front's kind of controlling that roll, so that it'll roll in the back. So that's good. One thing I want to do is check the pitch gradient and see kind of right here where we're getting to. That's a little bit too much, huh? So I'm just going to zoom out. So this is the end of the pitch gradient. So this is like our really heavy braking zones. You can see we're pulling about 2 Gs here. We're getting to about, 0.3 degrees of pitch, which is okay. So I've always found if you go below this 0.4 in the Porsche anyways, it's going to stall the diffuser, and it gets a little bit too unstable. So I always just increase the bump stop gap to make sure that we're not going across this 0.4 line. So you're kind of, again, seeing the end result of my setup, but just want to look at it just to make sure we're doing good. Traction circle is really cool now. It's color coordinated by color. So you can see the red is like really high speed. So you can see it's mostly when we're going in a straight line. Modal analysis, let's see. So this is roll. So I'm just, this is for turn 1. So we don't have a lot of pitching, a little bit of pitching through here, but not too bad as we roll out of that turn. So overall, I'm pretty happy with the setup. So we're going to go back to the game. I don't think I really need to make many adjustments. Again, use data to try to answer questions what the car is doing. If you feel like the car is losing it in a certain quarter, go look at the data. Try to figure out why you're losing the car. But let's keep going. Ooh, that was way faster than what I thought. We're just going to go ahead and return to the garage. Again, the wife distracted me, so sorry about that, guys. But we're just going to wait for the repair timer, and then we'll get back into it. So we don't have the update out yet. It's coming. I still have some of the other graphs to switch over. So all these graphs are GPU rendered. So because we bought a completely new graphing library. So it's going to take some time. I'm hoping to get them out in the next week or two. But the performance is so good now. It's like completely night and day difference. Yeah, Motec's okay. It's not the best application for sim racing. That's why I started RST. We definitely can't go wrong there. We actually get better performance with the new graphs than Motec, because Motec isn't using GPU hardware acceleration.
Clear on the left.
It's actually funny. We have a lot of people like Nils and some people in his Discord that use RST to make their Motec workspaces, which I think is pretty funny. Alright, we're technically P34, but we're just going to keep rushing because, again, the point of this is just to see how the car feels with different fuel and as the tire wear increases. For Saturday's race, I'll be racing stint number 1. Oh man, these AI break so early sometimes.
Clear on the right.
Yep, I'm getting the flash there. Zolder is so intense sometimes. Yeah, so the thing with RST is you don't really need to set up anything, but so like Motec, you configure all your match channels and everything. RST, you just load it up enter your car parameters and you're off. The manual's a really good place to start. There's like 100 pages of how to use the tool, but then there's 100 pages of theory of like what to look for in the graphs and everything. So that's a really good place to start. I do have some videos. I've been meaning to do like a full setup from scratch using RST, but I just haven't had the time because of the GPU chart implementation. Hoping to do that once that's done though. One thing I was talking about before is that we're working with the ESRO League to get some of the guys to collect data. And we're going to offer a service within RST where if we have data for a certain track, car combo, you could actually use it to compare yourself against the pros. So you can see like where you're losing time, what they're braking, and where they're like on the throttle again. So I think just with that, RST will kind of be worth it. But we're always trying to add more value to RST. And we continue to try to update it. So it's kind of a hobby of mine that I have other developers help me work on, but it's definitely something I enjoy doing. So definitely lots of updates to come. I just wish there was more than 24 hours in a day.
Clear on the left.
I was definitely kind of worried about that. And if you have any cars or anything you guys want me to do a setup for, let me know. Let me give me some ideas of things that we can do videos on, and I will definitely try to knock them out. Tuning for ACC is kind of hard sometimes, but there's a lot of cool tricks that you can utilize. I have a pretty efficient workflow that I've been following that's been working really good. Alright, let's see if we can narrow this gap between us and that red Ferrari. Yeah, so our manual is kind of made for non-engineer types. We don't go into like a lot of detail. We kind of just keep it to this is what the graphs should look like. And I totally just broke way too heavy there. But I can definitely, the next video I do, I'll definitely try to keep that in mind. I kind of want to do like a live stream setup video rather than like a YouTube video. That way you guys can kind of ask questions while I'm doing the setup. I think that would be kind of cool. I kind of want to start doing more like live sessions like that. I think it would be really beneficial because a lot of learning is sometimes like doing it yourself and, you know, getting feedback about questions you might have. And you just can't do that with a YouTube video like you can with a live stream. What track would you want in the Ferrari? I actually really enjoy the Ferrari. Yeah, a lot of cars in ACC actually like a lot of rear wing. There's not as much of a drag penalty with some of the cars in ACC as what you would normally see. So it's usually better to go more rear wing than what you would think.
Losing to the car, heading sector 1.
Porsche is getting a little bit lively with the less fuel load. A little bit wide there. This track and the Porsche is so much fun. It's a handful. Oh yeah, yeah. Silverstone is definitely a high downforce track. A lot of the corners really that you can get a lot of time on, like Abbey's, is a very high downforce centric. So it's definitely important to get the downforce correct for Silverstone. I think we're closing this gap just a little bit. See if we can keep closing it down. Really enjoy talking to you guys. It's always fun to kind of reach out to you guys and just turn a few laps and talk with y'all. That was a pretty good exit there. Oh man, this Ferrari looks awesome. I love the way the Ferrari looks. And I have a love-hate for the Honda. I love the car, but it's just very hard to be competitive in.
Gaining on the car, heading sector 2. Car on the right.
Oh, sorry guys, 1 second. Let me kind of clear this traffic first. Oh!
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
I think we made a little bit of contact. So what is your degree and how did you come to learn on the software side? Because it seems very interesting. So that's a really good question. So my degree in college is actually aerospace engineering. And I think it was my junior year, so my third year of college, I took a class for computer programming for engineers. And it was called Computer Methods, and what you do is you actually learn to solve linear like ODEs using like computer code, like making your own model and testing out your design and then getting feedback so you can do like an iterative design. And I thought that was really cool. Like, how awesome is it that you could design something, test the design in code, see how it would perform, and then make like adjustments before you even build anything, right? So that way when you get to the final product, you've already gone through a few iterations and you should have a fairly good product, right? So I started taking computer programming classes just for fun because I thought it was a really cool like idea, if that makes sense. Like, I thought it was really valuable to learn to code. And my senior year, my professor says, hey, if you take like 2 more computer science classes, you can get a degree in computer, or a minor in computer science. So I went ahead and got the minor in computer science. I took like computer database design, data structures, and I think I took like a computer video game design class, which is really cool, but kind of a blow-off class. And then like my spring semester of my senior year, so like my very final semester, my professor says, oh, by the way, because you have enough credits for the minor in computer science and the aerospace engineering degree, if you take 2 more engineering electives, you can get a mechanical degree too. So I took heat transfer and thermodynamics too. So after it was all said and done, I have a bachelor degree in aerospace engineering, I have a bachelor degree in mechanical engineering, and a minor in computer science. And none of it was planned. I totally just did it because it was fun, but kind of a funny story. But I definitely like the motorsport side of things. It's definitely like a hobby. I would love to get into it full time. I do a lot of like consultation with like local teams. They kind of pay me to come evaluate the car, you know, suggest some setup adjustments they can do. But it's kind of just guys with a lot of money. They're not like actual teams. But I would love to do a career change. Right now I work for a DoD engineering firm that's really big in the United States for the aerospace. We actually make rockets
Car on the left.
for NASA and the Department of Defense. Yeah, I'm a lifelong
You're on the
learner.
left.
Like I love just like learning new stuff. That was an awesome move. Kind of sucks that it's not for a position, but still fun. I love with this Porsche how I can just mash the throttle like that. Like just get it pointed and just like smash it, you know? I'm kind of curious to see what the tire wear is at the end of this. I'm gonna turn my mic down just a little bit. I can see it's still a little bit on the loud side. Let's see. Is that better? Yeah, that's a lot better. When the engine's going, I think I talk a little bit louder. I think I go a little bit wider through there. More speed. The Honda is so cool looking. Let's go. Sun's definitely coming up. I'm gonna go ahead and turn those lights off. Can't cut too much here though with the Porsche though. And he was just totally stopped on the apex through there. Luckily, no one lost a position. Oh, come on. That was a horrible exit.
Losing to the car heading sector 1.
Tire pressures look fine. Ooh, slingshotted. Let's go, baby. Nice. All right, we're gonna go super deep here. There we go. That's how you do it, boys. Kind of sad, no traffic now. Oh, 5/10 though. I'll take that. I was doing online lobbies yesterday here at Zolder, and I was pretty consistently mid 29s. So I think we'll have a decent pace for Saturday. Definitely won't be the top fastest guy, but probably enough to be top 10. Man, that was a save, wasn't it? Gotta be brave through there. It's only hard. I love having the dynamic time of day in ACC. That's one thing I kind of sucks with iRacing is like the weather and stuff. There's no weather. Makes for like really interesting racing, I think. All right, 16 more minutes, guys. 16 more minutes. So much time to gain there, but you just like launch yourself over the curve, you know? Closing this gap a little bit up ahead. Up a few tenths there, 3 tenths. I'll take that.
Well done, mate. Personal best.
Hopefully that traffic ahead will slow them down just a little bit. Pretty consistent though, I will say that. Come on, guys. We can do it. Down to 3-second gap. 3-second gap. So we got 13 minutes, so let's see if we can make it happen. Braking distance is definitely changing though. Kind of catching me off just a little bit. Man, this DD is making my wrists like sore. So strong, it's crazy. Man, I lost like 2/10 through there. Just because I didn't ramp the stupid chicane. Man, this game looks beautiful, doesn't it? Woo. Porsche's trying to kill me, boys. Still lapping faster than the guys ahead by a pretty good amount. Almost a second. Definitely curious to see what the tire wear is after this. Feels like the rears are wearing a little faster because the bounce getting a little bit more oversteery as time goes on. No bueno. Definitely want to get that result before Saturday. Still closing the gap between us and the guys ahead though. This game is so good. In terms of raw driving experience, this game is like top notch. I just wish it had LMPs. Can you imagine LMP cars in this game? Oh my god, that'd be so much
Into
fun.
the car, heading sector 1.
There you go. That's a good amount of time. Got a 10th somehow. Losing it though. Come on, baby. Let's close that gap. We got this. I would definitely mess your car up in real life if you did that. Like, you'd definitely be bending some, like, A-rods. Hey, welcome to the stream, bud. How you doing today? We're just doing some practice. I have a race on Saturday for Zolder. It's a 50-car grid race, so it's going to be very interesting. We're just doing some practice with AI right now. Get used to the traffic. Also doing a tire wear test. Make sure the balance is really dialed in. A lot of people don't pay attention to the tires as much as they should. Tire wear is a great overall indicator of the dynamics of a setup. Hey, what's up, Phantom Racing? Welcome to the stream, bud. How are you doing today? Come on, we gotta catch these guys. Work this gap down. All right, we're gonna send it right here, boys. Hang on. Oh, yep, way too much to curve through there. All right, we got this. Too far back to make a move. I love with the DD, I can feel all those vibrations in those curves, those serrated curves. Amazing. Oh, what an exit. What an exit. We're going to take this outside line. I don't know if we have the horses for this.
Car on the left.
Oh,
Clear on the
almost
left.
got it. Yeah, yeah. Zolder is very, very hard on the curbs. Definitely having low ARB, less high speed dampening will make a big difference here. But this is absolutely killer. There's so much time to be gained, like by going over those curbs, but it's so dangerous. Like, not only can you lose the car, but you're more prone to tire damage, right? So easier to get a puncture, things like that. Come on. Can't see the apex with all this traffic. Yeah, I love Zolder though. It's a very challenging track, but very fun track. Oh, too far back, too far back. I was gonna try to make an inside move, but would have been a little dive bomby. Come on, let's go. Get that draft.
Car on the right.
Plenty of room, plenty of room.
Clear on the right.
Too wide through here. Nice. I'll take that. Think we can catch this pack up here too, guys? Getting a little dark. I wonder if there's some clouds coming in. Our arms are getting kind of tired with this new DD wheel. Haven't got into shape with it yet. Porsche is definitely trying to kill me right now, guys. See what the track temp is. I feel like it's hot right now. That's only 24C. Tire pressures look pretty spot on. Was worried about the right side being a little bit too low with those curb strikes. You lose a little bit of air every time you hit them, but not too bad. So I'm using the Sim Magic M10. So it's only 10 Newton meters, but it is day and night difference between this and like a belt driven wheel. I came from a TC PC racer, and I was telling the guys on the stream before, I'm so glad that I never tried a DD wheel until I owned one, because it would have just completely ruined me. Come on. I'm trying to catch these guys. I love it though. It's awesome. A lot of detail in the force feedback. Like I can feel all those serrated curves. Like it's just very, very precise compared to like a belt driven. I've never tried any other DD, so I don't know how it compares to like a semi-cube or like a DD1 or a DD2. But coming from a belt drive, it's completely different. So I use V3s, the Fanatec V3s. I want to get some nicer pedals, but I just can't. It's hard to justify the wife, you know. She has to approve all of my transactions. Sometimes it can be a little bit hard.
Behind the car in front in sector 2.
A little too far back. Kind of backed out of there. Yeah, you can't go wrong with Fanatec, man. Definitely a producer of great quality gear. And the thing is, they're like a company too, right? They're not like a small company, so support, warranties, things like that, you know. Can't go wrong with them. All right, let's turn the lights on. It's getting kind of dark. I want to catch these guys, but I keep making stupid mistakes. I had to really hit the brake there. I thought I was going to hit him. You can really cut the exit of that chicane quite a bit. Just spinning the wheels on the exit there. I'm pretty sure I'm wearing the rears a lot faster than the fronts, but we'll see. I was gonna keep it on the track. Yeah, I think so. I've never tried one, but I know everyone that has a semi-cube talks about how awesome they are. I don't know how it compares to a Fanatec though. Like I said, I've never tried a any type of DD before I got this Sim Magic one. Come on. I wanted to get one more position. And I'm gonna go wide here. Yep. That's probably the end of our chance of getting a P. Another position. Hope you guys are enjoying the stream. Let me know if the sound and the video quality is okay. I have been kind of adjusting the settings lately, so I just want to make sure everything looks good. And if not, I want to be able to make a correction here. Oh, that was a good exit. Yeah, that's kind of what I've heard as well, Phantom. All right, we're gonna send it here.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Oh man, plenty of room, but I just got a little bit loose on the exit and it just cost me. Now I'm going wide on the entry. Yeah, no, they're definitely an investment. Like I said, I got this one for free. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have upgraded from my TDS PC Racer. I really like that wheel. I came from a T150 Thrustmaster, which is quite the upgrade, you know, and now to the DD. So. Absolutely great racing. I love this game, guys.
Car on the left.
Oh,
Clear on the left.
inside, inside.
Car on the left. Clear on the
Oh,
left.
I couldn't get it to stick. It's a little too far back through there. Smoke is out though. Race is over. Oh, that exit. He's got more power though.
Clear on the left.
Dang.
Right, check that flag. Good job. You did the best you could. Now bring the car back.
Dang, guys. Well, we ended up dead last, but it's just because the wife came in and kind of distracted us. But let's watch some of those replays real quick. Oh, this is too cool. We gotta watch a little bit of the race here. Let's just kind of skip to the end here. Here's our car. Yeah, no, I completely agree. The GT4 cars are gonna be so sick. They're gonna be so much fun for the endurance racing. Like, it's gonna be so intense passing like slower traffic with the faster traffic. It's gonna be really intense. Man, look at these. This game is so beautiful, guys. I mean, look at this. Hey, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Man, look at that. That is so cool. Woo. Little curb strike. I love that Porsche livery too. It's a custom one that I've done, like the red and black to kind of match the RST colors. This looks so good, I think. Man, look how close we were. Reminding you guys, I need to look at the tire wear after this next lap. I want to see the last lap though, because like on the exit, I was definitely like pulling alongside. I just didn't have the horsepower to pull ahead. Oh man, yeah, that sounds. I just got some HyperX like headphones. It's incredible how good this game sounds. Like this smallest detail, like you can hear the gearbox whine, like the ABS kicking it, just really good. If they could just figure out like the bugs, like just the small bugs that there are, you know, I mean, there are quite a few right now with like the setups and stuff, but if they could just iron those out. And then my biggest thing with the endurance races is if they could make it so that the, oh, that's where I went way wide. If they could make it to where the like teammate could do the MFD for the driver, that would be so big, because every endurance race that we've been in, we just did the 12 hours of Spa for the Coach Dave Academy. It's so hard to fiddle with the MFD while you're trying to race. Like, it's just ridiculous. If they could do that, though, dude, I think this game is going to be here for a long time. I was one of those guys at the beginning that kind of, you know, dogged Kunos a little bit just because I thought the sim wasn't where it needed to be for the release. But they really stuck with it. Oh, look at this. Side by side into T1. I had a lift, though, because I was scared he was a little closer than what he was. But yeah, they've done an absolutely stunning job with the game over the past year, and I can only imagine they're going to continue that momentum that they've built up. Yeah, those turbo sounds, right? Yeah, very true. Every sim kind of goes through the growing pains. But the driving experience in ACC is just unmatched, I think. All right, we're coming up to where I sent it on the inside. I'm gonna have to look. It looks like my car's just a little bit too low because I keep getting curb strikes through there. Oh, down the inside. All right, this is the last lap. Check this exit that I get here, guys. Car just planted and went compared to the Lamborghini. Like, look at this. Like, oh my God, look at that. Side by side. Oh, that was a crazy finish. So much fun though. Can we like go back? Yeah, let's do this real quick. I gotta get a picture of this, guys. Yeah, that's why I actually switched from using triples to so I have triple monitors, but I'm just doing it in single mode because I did some testing and I actually get way better performance in ACC in single mode at 4K than I do with 1080p's and triples, which doesn't make sense because it's less pixels. But yeah, just something about the way ACC does triples. I just take a huge performance hit, and it's just like really bad. Look at this. This is crazy. Yeah, we gotta get that. Like, we have to get this picture, guys. Like, look at that. I don't know. What's a good angle here? Like this, maybe? This looks pretty cool. Kind of like the smoke in there, though. But I think this is a better angle. Well, let's take that screenshot right there. All right. And then I was going to, before I get off for the night, I'm just going to go back to the garage real quick. Oh, maybe I can't. I was trying to figure out how to look at the tire wear, but I guess I can't I? That's weird. I know with normal races you can go back to the pits, but maybe because it's the end of the race. Huh, weird. What happens if I quit? We'll leave the, yeah. Oh well. I'll just have to do another session another night. To see the tire wear. Let's look at some of the data though. So you can see pretty consistent 31s. I did have a 30.9. I think there was a little bit less track conditions than normal. I normally can do like a 29 lap. Still working to get it to the 28s. I know that the ESRO guys are doing like 28.5s. I'm still working to that level. I have some guys that are going to send me data. Hope to figure out what's going on there. One thing I was curious about though are these pitch gradients. Let's dial the Porsche settings in here real quick. Interesting. These got really like high for some reason. It seems almost like it's not. Oh, there we go. That was weird. Okay. So let's just do the Porsche real quick. So at the start of the race, when we had like the full fuel load in, we were at 0.5 on the front, 0.48 on the back. Near the end of the race though, stayed about the same actually. We didn't have too much of a drop in roll grain. Normally when you get the fuel load down, the roll grains will come up. That'll make the car like very twitchy. But it looks like it, you know, for the most part, stayed pretty good. So that's really quite good. One thing I am curious about, this might crash on me because I just got these coded in today, but I want to look at the run graphs to look at. Okay, so that's not too bad. So let's so we did about 21 laps, and we're pretty consistently right around 1.5 G's average, right? So that's not too bad. We had a really good lap on like that's probably like what, lap 12, a 13. Yeah, we did a 39. So that was the lap that we were fastest on. So that just shows you the more you can increase your lateral G's, the faster you're going to go through corners. Let's look at the stability of the car. I felt like near the end we were getting a little bit loose into turn 1. I want to see if I can figure out why here. So again, this is the yaw stability. So it's going to tell us what the car needs to rotate versus how much it did. And then this is into turn 1. And so far it's looking pretty good. Not really seeing. Here's one, but this was like kind of on the exit. So to me that tells me, oh, here's one. I lost the car here. Well, this got really oversteery. Let's see what maybe caused this. So let's just draw a line through here. So this is kind of the coast area. You can see there's steady state because the damper travels about the same. Keeping it off the zero line, which is the zero load, so that's good. But we definitely got some oversteer when we went onto throttle, so we were pretty pretty, like, we were a little understeery, and then we had to lift a little bit and get on the brake, and that just kind of threw our balance off. So there might have been some traffic there that, you know, we had to brake for, and it caused us to lose the back end. Not entirely sure. Let's just look at a few other laps to see if we have any other issues through here. I'm looking for this line to go like above like the 10 line. That's like a good indication of a lot of oversteer. But overall it's looking pretty good, to be honest. So let's look at the differential. Definitely getting some unlocking in the differential. You can see through this turn it's pretty unlocked, what you can see with this graph. But when that's on the brake, if I were to increase the preload, it wouldn't really make a difference here because I'm on brake, and normally when you're on a brake, it's mostly your coast ramp and your clutch packs that are gonna make the difference. Preload is mostly just for like neutral input, so like no brake, no throttle. So kind of like at this point right here. At this point, you can see the differentials unlocked. There's a 2.5% wheel difference in speed. So if I were to increase preload, I'd like lock it up, but I'd get a little bit more understeer through that, kind of push the car out. And because the car is already unlocked before I get off the brake, I don't really want to do that. Let's just look at the dampener speeds too, just to see if maybe there's some unsettling of the car. Let's look at some of these other lap times that we are a little slow. You can see we're pretty much always in the low speed dampening because it's always around like the 100. Anytime you're above 100, that's when you're getting into the high speed range. But you can see through this turn right here, this is like the entire braking zone through here. You can see we're pretty much always within 100, so that's going to be the low speed dampening. It does look like we're on the bump stops through here though. That might be why the car understeers and then snaps on me, because what happens is if you are on the brakes, the bump stops too much and the front's too stiff, the car will push because you've overloaded. You put too much load on that outside front tire, and then when you slow down, when you scrub a little speed, because you have so much steering input to try to correct for the understeer, the front will hook up, and then you'll just really throw the back off and you'll lose grip on the back. And the way I can see that is if you look at this line right here. This is the front right travel, and you can see as this car rotates, the front left line goes down, so that's extension. So the left is kind of in rebound. So if you think about, the car is kind of doing this, but you can see the right side doesn't change, so that tells me it's on the bump stops. Normally you want this to change a little bit of compression. So definitely something to look at. That might tell me maybe why I'm getting a little oversteer into that turn one. But overall, car felt great, guys. I think I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. Thank you for tuning in. I really had a lot of fun tonight talking to you guys. If you guys enjoyed the stream, be sure to hit me with a subscribe or a like on the video. It helps to get more traffic. I'm hoping to get the RST update with the new GPU graphs out within like the next 2 weeks. It's quite a lot of work to overhaul all the graphs when you have like 100 graphs, but hopefully we'll make progress soon. But I hope you guys have a good night. Everyone stay safe with all the corona stuff. It's pretty crazy out there. But I will catch